It's always a pleasure to see a vision come to life.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Megan Shepard. It's great to have you with us. Topping news, top Florida airline Silver Airways made its inaugural flight into Grand Bahama today. The restoration of non-stop flight services to West Palm Beach, Florida brings good news for Grand Bahama and its struggling economy. As Charisma Robinson reports, officials are calling this move a win-win situation for this island and the carrier.
It was not so much an inaugural flight, but a restoration of services to West Palm Beach, Florida, that will pump some big bucks into Grand Bahama. Silver Airways 34-seater Saab 340B Plus touched down at Grand Bahama International Airport at 11:40 this morning. Officials say the introduction of the new route shows that there are better days coming for this island. In fact, Director General at the Ministry of Tourism, David Johnson, said today during the airline's inaugural ceremony that this island will see the strongest rebound in tourism in the region by 2014.
Well over $40 to $50 million in capital investment is at work transforming the experience here in Grand Bahama. And that's only the first phase. But the capital, the financial capital is one. What we in Grand Bahama must understand and accept is that the Grand Bahamian hospitality at its best is what will see us through.
Now the introduction of these flights from West Palm Beach on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday will add an additional 7,100 seats to Grand Bahama.
We'll also introduce a non-stop direct jet service from 14 new cities in 2014, which includes cities from Canada, where we expect to have a further 58,968 air seats, and 8 cities from the U.S., where we will rack up 48,000, in total 114,068 new seats, inclusive of the Silver Airways flight. The new direct services from Canada is the result of an introduction of the Memories Hotel, our newest member of the Sunwing team. This will increase the total air traffic activity by more than 101,000 passengers from Canada and 80,000 passengers from the US, a total of 181,000 passengers to the destination, and which will show Grand Bahama as one of the fastest growing destinations within the Bahamas chain.
President and CEO of Silver Airways, David Flieger, believes in Grand Bahama and the will to ensure the success of this new route.
I completely and fully appreciate the importance of tourism and what our role is as Silver Airways, as a carrier that visits this great nation, to bring more visitors to your shores and more income at the end of the day so that you can grow not only revenue but also the quality of life and make great things for all Bahamians.
So far, there are just about 50 Bahamians employed with the company. Charisma Robinson, ZNS Network News.
Since 2003, the Bahamas tried to establish diplomatic relations with the country of Qatar. But it was not until August of this year when the government fostered a diplomatic relationship with the sovereign Arab nation. Today, the special envoy of the state of Qatar was the guest speaker at the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce and discussed the Bahamas as a possible place for investment. Shashina Rule has that report.
Special Envoy of the State of Qatar, His Excellency Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Ramahiz, told members of the chamber that Qatar is the largest producer of natural gas, has the highest income per capita in the world, which gives the country great financial power. With these great resources, he added that Qatar helps to develop countries around the world through investments.
We see our investment to go for development of the people, development of some countries' economy that they can stand at least, and we help these countries to build themselves, to build their future, but in combination with political orientation that we have to put some economy there and guarantee some income for us, at least against what we invest to help these countries to develop their own economy.
The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, says the government is pleased that Qatar is looking at this region for a possible place for investment.
The ambassador is here on a fact-finding mission on the island of Grand Bahama. He loves it. He realized our close proximity to the United States. And of course, all of this diplomatic relations with our partners in the Middle East is to really promote commerce and cultural exchange, as well as the opportunity for our countries to have a closer tie as it concerns issues with trade, investment, tourism, financial services, as well as the maritime industry. You're fully aware that Qatar is an oil-producing country with an excessive amount of oil and natural gas. And the country is decided that we should have diplomatic relations with them.
President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Barry Malcolm, says, with Qatar's financial strength, it is welcomed news that the special envoy is impressed with the island of Grand Bahama.
They're also a country that has made a mark by investing in and looking at other developing countries around the world and investing in those countries, taking a very proactive interest in developing, supporting the development in these countries. So his comments about Freeport, Grand Bahama, and about the Bahamas as a point for Qatari investment is quite exciting for us.
Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
The Caribbean Financial Action Task Force is wrapping up its 38th plenary meeting here on Grand Bahama. This is the final day of working sessions at the Grand Lucayan Resort. And at the end of today's meeting, the Bahamas will assume responsibility for the organization. During the opening ceremony yesterday, outgoing chairman of the CFATF, Sherno Jallo, gave a report on their efforts to eliminate financial threats to the region.
Money laundering is not a national problem only, nor is it a regional problem only. It is a global problem. And no single government can tackle the problem alone and claim to succeed. As a region, we must look beyond the criticisms leveled against us. We must forge ahead, for the drug traffickers and money launderers have a field day when we bicker amongst ourselves or point accusing fingers at each other. We must recognize our shortcomings.
Jallo says the CFATF is making progress in meeting the FATF standards.
It should be pleasing to note that the CFATF, which has in the last 3 years been undergoing a period of reflection, introspection, and reform, today stands boldly as having successfully completed its action plan and is therefore no longer required to provide any update reports to the FATF. In October this year, we presented our last update report to the FATF during the FATF Paris plenary, which expressed satisfaction with the progress we have made as an organization, and therefore agreed that the CFATF's reporting obligations must be brought to an end. We all have been instrumental in this endeavor.
Some 29 Caribbean countries make up the CFATF. Stay with us. The Northern Bahamas Tonight edition will be back after this.